What's going on, everybody? AJ Capasso here with Coventry Circle Paranormal, representing Talking with the Source. I'm here with my two other co-hosts right now. Go ahead, Robin.
Robin from Haffern Paranormal.
Steve-O and Kelly from S&K Paranormal.
So right now, you'll be seeing Kelly join Steve-O in a few minutes. She's just getting ready and stuff. This was not planned. We had to, unfortunately, cancel our podcast for today due to some personal reasons. And not everybody was able to do it a little bit later. And I just felt that we should give the guest, Dennis, a little bit more time so we can promote it better for him and show him the same respect we show everybody else, because he's an amazing dude. Unfortunately, you don't see John with us right now. He's busy with family at the moment. But we just wanted to come on, do a little communication thing, have Steve-O do some communication a little bit, and then, just talk some paranormal. So how you guys doing, man?
Good, man. How are you guys?
All right, yeah. There's our first guest in from AAP.
Oh, awesome. Hey, listen, I want to first shout out to AAP, because AAP, Mr. and Mrs. AAP are absolutely amazing. We're going to be adding some of their stuff and, promoting them on all of our pages, because they have just been absolutely amazing. So happy life with Maria Hyatt. She says, how are you guys doing today? I'm doing awesome. I mean, you guys doing
all right,
awesome?
yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, but we also want to shout out to Parapost, even though we are not live on Parapost right now because we're not doing a podcast. We're just kind of like talking and messing around. But Parapost Network, you haven't checked it out yet, go to Parapost Network. They also have a app that you could download for your phone, but go to Parapost Network on Facebook. It's the home of paranormal podcasts where live investigations happen, podcasts from all over and all around. It's just absolutely amazing. Officially sponsored by Paraflix, which is a streaming app for all paranormal stuff. And Brian John, want to shout out to him and Lex. Through the Lens, their paranormal podcast called Through the Lens with Brian and Lex. And also Paranormal Brew with Taryn, who is another great friend of ours. We can't thank you all enough. So just want to give them a shout out. But so Steve-O, man, what have you been up to, man, lately? I know you've been working a lot. That's the reason why you haven't been able to come on the podcast, but we will be switching to Saturdays, so you will be with us.
Definitely look forward to that. Yeah, it's been quite the busy time. Not really in regards to doing anything paranormal. I mean, I've had maybe a few videos out, but nothing really related to that. Just kind of enjoying life, embracing the new house, just all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Man. Yeah. Go ahead, Robin.
No, just said excellent. I go.
Yeah. Oh, my fault. No, yeah. I just want to say, man, Steve-O and his wife, they have busted their butts to get this new house, and it's absolutely amazing. They're doing all their own work to it, which I find just absolutely awesome. They're such a great team. And it definitely is relationship goal for me if I ever find someone and don't end up alone, but it's all good because I got my spirits and my paranormal, so I'm happy with that. But was that Kelly that's now in, or she just happened still doing some stuff?
She'll be right here. She's just getting ready.
I wanted to introduce our
momentarily.
No, that's fine. I wanted to introduce the fierce woman researcher we got on the team here.
Absolutely. And just to let you know, at some point, I may have to jump out just to change my laundry. I know it's not really topic related, but just let you know.
Whatever floats your boat.
Totally cool. But
and our secretary as well can't be on because she's going to bed.
Oh, okay. That's all right, Julie. That's all right. She's actually whoever's watching. She actually is recovering from cancer. She's in remission. Thank God. We are super happy for her. Absolutely. Thank the Lord. She is a fighter. So is Robin. Another amazing relationship that those two show, the strength they show together. But Robin, how have you guys been, man? I mean, have you got to go out and do any paranormal stuff recently?
No, not recently, no. But I'm obviously doing a lot of work behind the scenes for Igor as well. But I'm just sort of building locations and stuff like that at the minute. Planning on going out again pretty soon. I keep planning on going out every week, but it never works out. But it's coming to the end of winter over here, so when it comes into spring and stuff like that, it's far better.
Amen to that. Winter is tough over here as well in the East Coast. I mean,
Yeah.
it gets pretty cold, but I know over where you are, it gets probably even worse. But where Steve-O is in Canada, oh my gosh, they've gotten so much snow and it's so cold. I'm like, I mean, then again, they have to go by Celsius. So my stupidity, I have to like look up what that means in Fahrenheit, you know, because I don't really know Celsius. But it's really cold. But every time I call them, and I'm like, God bless you, brother. God bless you guys, because I wouldn't be able to do it. Gets below 70, and I'm a wuss. Absolutely.
From
Yeah,
the guest
yeah.
from
I mean,
Florida.
we've had temperatures that are minus 25 with the wind chill of like minus 40.
Oh no, forget that. See, no. That and spiders. I don't. Well, I just wanted to say, happy life with Maria Hatch. She said she's from Petersburg, Florida, and Maria, that's awesome because my
I
mother
love
actually
Florida.
lives in Tampa, and there's our fierce female explorer. Kind of can't really see her face, I don't think, because of the sunlight behind her, but that's cool. This is Kelly Hopkins. This is Steve-O's wife. Amazing researcher and communicator herself. She has so many abilities and so intuitive, just like Steve-O. Kelly, how have you been?
Pretty good.
Awesome. You get to do any sessions lately? Have you been rocking it? Yeah, just enjoying the new house.
Not really.
Yeah, no. That's awesome. But yeah, so I mean, I wanted to talk to you guys quick about before we did that little quick spirit communication session. I wanted to ask you guys about what do you think when people say to you, oh, apps are garbage, that they're all fake, they're all for entertainment purposes. There's been a lot of talk about this on a lot of different group pages, and I wanted to get your opinion because, we support a very important person in all of our lives who's a very big inspiration, Josh Lewis of Hope Paranormal, who created an amazing ITC app. But I want to get your guys' opinion from using apps, showing a bunch to me that have been amazing tools that have no false positive, that have been just awesome. So what is your guys' opinion when people say that?
Of course, leave it up to me. So I believe everybody's got their preference. Everybody has a belief system. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
There's people that are hardcore on radios. There's people hardcore on apps. There's people hardcore on just a basic recorder. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But as for the apps that stand, you got to really just kind of narrow down to what works. You have to know just by playing around with it whether it's real or not. I mean, the thing is to always record, and if you're just getting a whole bunch of gibberish or nonsense, then I wouldn't waste my time with it. But when it comes down to apps, yes, they do work. um but unlike radios, apps are going to give you false positives too. So I
Course.
mean, it's just kind of a repeat. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you use a PSB7 and it'll cut it, like when it's scanning at a rate that DJ doesn't really pick it up. But sometimes you get snippets of stations coming through, like, oh, hi John, this is Billy, for
Yep.
K105 or something. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I mean, apps work. um we're just kind of in the process now to where we really don't we use apps, but we use ones that are reversed, chopped up audio.
Yep.
So there's no definitive words in it. I mean, I've created one with Romanian and Latin, and there's no English in it. And I'm getting replies through that app, through Josh's app, through the PSB7. No matter what I use, I'm getting the same results, even the SED2 and 3, and I'm getting
Absolutely.
all the same results. So I think, in our personal opinion, yes, apps do work.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I had this discussion with someone the other day, and they were saying to me, "Oh, this app is garbage. This app is garbage." And I said to them, I said, "Not all apps are great. I mean, there is some apps that are entertainment that have banks of audio that aren't reversed, that aren't made to be for spirit communication. That you're gonna get." Either words may be in it, or you're going to also get, like you said, even with apps that are reversed, you can get false positives because of pareidolia with our brains. I mean, we may hear a sound that may sound like a yes, even though I know we don't really try to focus on the yes and no answers. But if you are going to get that. I mean, if some words in some ways that they're mixed and come out, you may mistake it sometimes. But one of the things that I do, and I told this person this, is that anytime I get a new app, and normally I will obviously consult you guys and I'll consult my whole team, Robin too, about the apps that I'm looking at, that I do one research on before I even step into it. I always make sure that it's either the newer ones that have like phonemes like necrophonic, or like Angelic app by Ghost Hunter Apps. Or I've been using, like I said, like you said, the Josh's app, which is free on Android and iOS, called the HSB-1 by Hope Paranormal, which is an amazing app. I mean, I don't know if you want to say a little bit more about it, Steve-O, because you know it the best. So about what it is, what it was.
Well, I mean, the HSB one is, it's just hands down, it's one of probably the best, if not the best, spirit communication app that you can use. I mean, Josh spent a year putting this together, with his developer, and I mean, just the results. Like when I was using the web version of it, I mean, I was getting things that were just out of this world. And for reverse banks and just chopped up audio, I mean, it's how do you get something like that? You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, I always find it funny. I mean, I'm going to get to you in 1 second, Ron, but I always find it funny that people say that, oh, apps don't work. Even like the HSB1 critics try to say that doesn't work, when that's not an easy app. You don't just turn it on and open the noise gate and think you're going to get responses, because I tell you what, for someone who like me, I've grown my connection over the years knowing you, Steve-O, for almost almost 7-8 years now. I actually sometimes struggle getting responses with it, because it's a real ITC tool. It's not just something that is thrown together, excuse my language, but half-assed. It's thrown together with knowledge, everything that Josh has learned over the years. And I think it's so lucky for us researchers that he's provided it for free. I mean, all the work and all the developing that goes into these apps, they cost money. And for him to do that and not charge anyone, that goes to show like he has nothing to gain, by lying about an app like that, and when you go into it and you actually use it, you see that it's not just turning it on and getting a response, so I
right. And I mean, I do mean to interrupt, but I mean,
no,
this is a really good topic, because when you read the reviews between the HSB1 and the Miracle Box,
yep,
there's people that are calling this stuff fake, because when they're recording, they're actually reversing the audio, and they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of this, and this. Well, if you actually use the app like it's intended, you're going to get results.
Absolutely. And my thing is that if a spirit has the energy to manipulate frequencies through a radio scanning app, and we technically have a computer in our hands nowadays with the phone, why can't they manipulate that energy? Right. That's my thing. But what's your opinion, Robin? Or sorry, Steve, I didn't want to cut you off. What were you going to say?
Well, it's no different than people with recorders. They're like, oh, recorders are the way. Well, you know what? When I started doing this, I tried everything. I had a 3.5 millimeter headphone microphone that I used to plug into my phone. And I mean, this thing was just atrocious when you listen back to it. Yeah. But I mean, I was using WavePad, and I was connecting with spirit that way. Nope. And getting EVPs. And then I thought, well, there's got to be a better way. So I went to a recorder, and then the recorder took so much time. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just try video with the phone. Yep. And for some reason, the video with the phone it really picks it up, because they love it, because they can show their energy. They can really go, hey, you know what? You want to see our energy? Here we are. And we'll imprint our message on your video as well. So
yeah. Exactly, which I'm going to go back to what you just said, because there was something that I read the other day. But Robin, what's your opinion on it, man? Because I know you've been using the Angelic, the necrophonic. What's your opinion on the apps? What do you say to people if someone's like, oh, apps are fake or whatever? What would be your thing to say?
Probably, I like using the apps, but if they're used in the right way. A lot of people will go on to the necrophonic and stuff, and they'll just say, oh, I think I heard this, I think I heard that. But to me, you've got to be sure, and that's why, like Steve-O said, you've got to record what you do, and then when you're editing, you've got to listen back to it and make sure you've got the right response, because what you hear live may not necessarily be what you actually hear.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Yeah.
used a lot of it, and to be honest with you, I'd only trust Necrophonic, and I'd only trust Angelic at the minute, and the Hope one, because I haven't really used the Hope one that much, but I've seen it work. But I've used the other two quite a bit, and I know that they work. I've got responses that I would not have got anywhere else. But I mean, I've tried GhostTube SLS, Paravox, Paratech, all them kind of want. Nah, I'm not convinced with them.
Yeah. You know, I remember when I first started, I didn't really know anything about the paranormal. I just started researching. I had a major thing happen in my life, and a major activity in my home. And I decided before I got a PSP7, I'm going to try some of these free apps, right? You know, well, I knew that one of them that I picked was not really anything. It was just repeating fake scanning radio audio. And one day I was sitting in my garage and I'm starting to fall asleep, just like getting bored, listening to it over and over again. And the rain just starts pouring on my roof and you could hear it really badly. And then all of a sudden through that device, that app that was completely fake. I mean, no joke. It was honestly fake in my opinion. You hear a voice come through and go, wow, it's pouring out. And it literally snapped me out of me closing my eyes. And I'm like, what did you just say? And I listened back to the recorder and I couldn't believe my ears that, you know, people deny that spirit can use this type of stuff, this type of technology now with apps and all this stuff. But even that app that I consider personally fake, like they were able to manipulate that in that one situation. So why couldn't they use one that actually is made for, you know, like eliminating false positives and stuff like that. So I totally agree. But Steve, going back to what you were saying before, I saw an article the other day about someone saying from their personal opinion, not saying that this is, you know, just 100% right, but their personal opinion that we shouldn't, as researchers, just record with, say, video. We should record with, you know, external audio at the same time because we're missing most of the stuff that spirits are saying, or we're not hearing it all, whereas they would hear it with the digital recorder. And I basically, you know, just told them like, yeah, you know, I understand that you may hear an EVP with the recorder, but I personally use external microphone so that I get a better quality microphone if my phone, even though it has great quality audio to it, if I did use that, or even a video camera, I use an external microphone. But I tried to explain to him like, listen, a spirit is going to choose whether or not it's going to use its energy to produce a manipulation of the audio on that app or your phone or whatever, or it's going to choose to give you an EVP. It's not going to be halfway through the sentence, you're going to hear blah, 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 and then finish on the recorder. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to finish half of a word on the recorder. So, you know, it made good sense and we had a good conversation about it. But I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, Kel, I want your opinion from using certain apps and stuff. Like, how do you feel about them? Like, do you like the radio scanning stuff? Would you rather have the apps? I mean, what's your opinion on it?
I just use it.
Yeah, you just use it. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I mean, if anyone hasn't checked out some of her solo stuff that's not on SNK Paranormal, Rainbow Light Paranormal, go check it out. She is absolutely amazing. Her connection's amazing. She is just like Steve-O, super intuitive. Want to give a shout out to John's wife. Hey guys. Hey Des. Thank you for
Hi.
tuning in, saying hello to us. We know you and we know John and everyone's busy right at the moment with the family and the kids, and we just want to say hello to all you guys, and you know, we'll be back next week, you know, for the podcast and stuff. But I wanted to bring.
Can I just say as well, AJ, that
Yeah.
I'm one of the only people who probably couldn't get on with an SB7.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right. Well, no, Steve-O.
I couldn't
like,
get on with it at all.
yeah.
I wasn't getting no responses through it at all. But I am looking forward to this new box that Nigel, our sponsor, has coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. FCD boxes. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later before we end, but I don't want to hold Kelly and Steve up because they have been really busting their butts all week long, and I know they're super tired. Especially, I mean, I know Steve working where you work, man. God bless you, dude, out in the cold and everything like that, and just you as a team, you guys are just amazing. But anything else you guys have seen research, like at all, like recently or before, like evolving wise, like have you noticed a difference in the afterlife, like in the spirit world?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Kelly's really evolved lately. I mean, if you want to talk about angels and the other side, she's definitely the one. So I think this is your cue to kind of jump in and talk a little bit about the. Come on, you're
Come on,
not
Kelly, you're never
shy.
shy. You're never shy.
Come on.
What do you want to know?
Well, tell me what do you think right now has been evolving, going on, or whatever you want to call it in the afterlife? Like, have you seen a difference in it since you've been doing it like for a good while now? I mean, have you seen a difference? A lot of people say the veil's thinning. I mean, what is your guys' opinion on it?
It's a really big network.
Absolutely.
Really, really big. I wouldn't say the veil is thinning.
I like it. I like it. Like, what's some of the stuff that you've noticed, like through your connections and stuff? Like, has angels been coming through more, like your angels and guides and all that, and
Oh
been
yeah.
telling you? Yeah, that's
Oh
awesome. I tell you what, I've learned everything from you guys about guides and all that kind of stuff when I first started, and you got me on a whole research thing, and I just can't thank you guys enough because it's opened up a whole new doorway. I mean, Steve-O, you always talk about the circle with your guides and all that stuff. Can you explain it a little for people who don't understand it a little bit?
So basically, to break it down, when it comes to uh, your angels, your guides, your soul family, your higher councils. Higher councils are definitely a must now, because that's where you want to seek your guidance from, not just your guides and your angels,
Yeah.
but you want to always keep moving up. So there came a point where everybody was having the spirits line up to communicate, right? And they line up at the door, and you're using this open audio, so they're all trying to push their message through at once because they don't know when you're going to end your session, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? And that's a good way to get personal attack too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean that's just what it is. And so I came up with the idea of the circle. I'm pretty sure it's common, but
Yeah.
for my team. So basically, I'm the operator, and my angels and guides are surrounding around me, along with my loved ones and whoever, and they're joined in a circle. So I'm protected by the circle while I'm communicating, so nothing's going to come through. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I mean, it just comes down to how you work your system, and they've come through and said the circle many times, and I mean, I've had people go, "Oh, I don't believe in the circle. That's just no, 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 no." And it's like, well, it's not a matter of belief. It's the matter of it is what it is, because they were coming through acknowledging the circle. The circle is here. What about the circle? Ask the circle.
I'm gonna be honest. Like at first, I'm like, nah, that doesn't work for me. I'm not gonna use that. And then you want to know what's funny is after that conversation we had on the video talk, it literally started coming through and coming through, and I was like, Steve-O's right again. Like, I gotta use it now. My team's telling me he's right. So ever since I started using it, man, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, and one of the things, like, also with the apps too, that people I don't think really understand is that, like, you can't just download something if you're not new to this and just think that you're just going to get amazing communication. It talks about that connection, how you work with your team, how we work with our team, how, Robin's starting to work with his team. And it's even John. I mean, John's communication has went through the roof in the past 7-8 months or almost a year now. And I'm just so shocked from all the stuff you've taught me that I got to pass on to others like him. And, it's so true. I mean, what is something that you can, tell everybody about like how you maintain or um, do your connection with them, like meditation? What is it that you do?
The the simple key to this is to make your angels and guides a part of your everyday life. Like they're family members that live with you. Because then your connection never breaks. You're
Yep.
not spending as long and as much time and having to work as hard to try and get that connection, to try and build up and warm up that connection. Like before you start any session, always allow your equipment to warm up. Just turn it on, turn off your Bluetooth or your portal, like just switch it off, like the volume,
Yep.
and just let it run. Because while that audio is running, that's allowing time for the spirits and your guides and stuff to manipulate that audio.
Absolutely.
So this way, they're not just standing there going, "Okay, when are you going to turn this on?" And then you're expecting us to use it. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So if you give that a little bit of extra time for them to warm up and come together and do what they got to do, I mean, it'll blow your mind. I mean,
You're
before,
absolutely
yeah,
you're 100% right. I mean, during a live one time with me and Derek, before he got his new job and he's been working a lot, because of the winter and stuff, we did a live on Facebook and we asked the question, because I always got this feeling like, I should do the PSB7 first, let it build the energy in the room, let the spirits, warm up, as we would say, or whatever. And then we would switch to say an ITC app like the Necrophonic or HSB1 or whatever it may be. And they actually keep saying to me every time I go back to my guys, every time I ask the spirits, they constantly say to me, yes, use the PSB7 to build the energy and then use whatever you're going to do. But I mean, like you just said, you could turn the volume all the way down, let it run for a few minutes and then just, begin your session in a few. But a lot of people get scared because they think, oh my gosh, I'm opening a portal, I'm going to let something bad through. But like you said in the beginning, if you're doing it right, working with your team, you're making that, protection, that circle, and doing protection before, you're going to be fine. I mean, but there's that notion, that we all know it's the stigma of the paranormal about all the negative and no positive,
yeah,
Can I just say I'm totally shocked. I really am. Because what Steve said a minute ago makes perfect sense to me. And AJ, you can verify this. Nothing ever makes sense to me.
No, yeah, he's my lost puppy.
Yeah, it's like if counting 1 to 10 doesn't even make sense to me. But honestly, that just makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like I said,
Yay! I figured something out.
Yay!
I'm going for a lie down now.
But
I
yeah,
broke
you
the
should
virginity.
leave now before you ruin something. No, I'm just joking. But,
Bye.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but
Go to bed happy now. Yay!
yeah. But no, man, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, I don't get scared doing this work ever. In the beginning, before I actually got into this work and I started having experiences happen, yeah, I grew up a Christian. I grew up Catholic. I thought, oh my God, demon all the way. You know what I mean? And now, working with my guys, working with the angels, working with stuff like that. I mean, I literally, just see so much love. I mean, don't get me wrong. You get the occasional, idiot spirit. I mean, tell us a little bit about what happened to you recently, Steve-O. You felt that spirit in your house, and what happened?
Yeah, so Kelly was sleeping one night, and I decided that, hey, I'm gonna go play guitar. So I went upstairs to my session room, not doing any ITC or anything, and I plugged my guitar into my portal using the H9, because you can create some cool algorithms for your guitar and stuff.
Yeah,
So I'm sitting there. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, just playing away, and I felt this energy behind me, and I'm like, okay, something's not right. And I had 3 bars on my battery pack, which the battery pack has 4 bars on it, so
Oh,
it's pretty
it's
much charged.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, I feel this vibrational energy because I feel everything through vibration, and it came right through me, and poof, there goes my box. My battery completely dead. Like I couldn't even turn it back on. I'm like, are you serious? I just had 3 bars on this.
You know what? I'm
So
gonna battery pack. I believe it's this one, right, Steve-O? This battery
yeah,
pack?
yeah.
Yeah. This battery
That's,
pack right here, I've charged this thing literally probably 3 times in my whole life at the most. And I've charged this literally 2 months ago, and I still have 3 out of the 4 lights on. And it's that strong. And for that thing to literally go from 3 to dead, goes to show that something definitely is using the energy from it. And you know, there was definitely something in the house, but I'm sorry, continue.
so something told me to just shut everything down, and so I did. I threw the portal on charge, came downstairs, and I mean, it's not the first time we felt this energy. I mean, we'll be sleeping and we'll hear footsteps upstairs and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And um, anyways, I was telling Kelly about it, so I pulled out Necrophonic. I, you know, just once in a blue moon, I'll pull out an app like that and see what I get. So I did that session, and I mean, the responses that I got back. So I decided, well, I'll wait a little while, I'll let things calm down, and then I'll do a follow up, you know, and try and see if my team will help push it out of there. When I was doing it, I mean, there was this door, the white light, and they were pushing this being into God's hands. That's what I was feeling, and you could tell by the responses that were coming through. And I felt, they were pushing into God's hands. As soon as that door was closed and locked, that Jesus would make it disappear.
Yeah.
So it would be no longer our problem. And so after that, I mean, it's felt like there's nothing here. So, I mean, great on my team for doing what they did, and I'm very appreciative to that.
I've never seen Robin a negative thing come through with him ever. And when he showed me that video, which you can now see on his channel, is it on SNK or is it only on Steve-O My Journey Paranormal?
Just my Journey Paranormal.
Okay, so yeah, you could check it out on Steve-O My Journey Paranormal. You could check it out on the International Group of Researchers page. I believe it's up there too. I mean, they're that channel as well, which we're all a part of. But yeah, when I saw that negative thing come through, especially saying demon out of all things, I was like, what? I'm like, I have never seen this at all, because you work with high vibrational beings and your guides, your angels, with Jesus, with all this amazing light and everything. And it was very shocking. But I mean, when you called me up that night, you're like, oh, dude, I immediately feel it, and you did that session. I was definitely shocked. Hey, your buddy, I think it's Jerry Colombo.
Yep.
Yeah, he says, what's up, Steve-O? So what's
How's it
up,
going,
Jerry?
buddy?
So but yeah, man, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, how about you, Robin? Like, what have you been experiencing, like, with your gifts right now, for, like, when I just introduced you to the whole, spirit guides and all that stuff, like how Steve-O taught me. I mean, have you seen a difference?
I haven't, because I haven't really been out much with Julie Biano and stuff like that.
What about our sessions over video chat?
Oh yeah. Our session, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've contacted a couple of people that, like, loved ones and stuff like that. I mean, even Mandy, that was contacted on behalf of my sister. It was all coming through, even in the English accent. Do you know what I mean? So,
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's definitely, and there's not only that there, but Sam, the medium, has been picking up on a lot of stuff lately off me as well.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So,
hey, hold on one. Oh, I'm sorry about that, guys.
I'm looking forward to getting out again.
I'll be right back.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I do want to let Steve-O get to his spirit box session, because I know we're only going to do something short today. I don't want to keep them on for a whole hour.
Okay. I got time.
Oh, you
Got
do?
lots
Oh,
of
okay.
time.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So,
Yep. So if you want to continue, Robin, you can.
yeah, go ahead, Rob. Sorry, my apologies.
No, all right. I just, like I say, I haven't been out much to test it, but I do feel more of a connection. It's given me a bit of a break from it because I was spending a lot of time. I mean, you'll see on my channel, and it's not bragging or nothing like that, but you'll see there's like 177 videos on there, and it's like I was going out sometimes twice a week and maybe hitting 4 different locations in a day, and you know, what I mean, and then I was having to break them into 2 parts because some of my earlier videos were like an hour and a half long, and then like you know the analytics yourself, people don't seem to watch over a long period of time. So then I was breaking them down into 2 parts and stuff. But the the bit of a break from it's been nice. Although I have been obviously working behind the scenes on the other stuff, but I'm looking forward to getting back out again and testing it out proper.
Absolutely. Well, hey, it's not bad to take a break, right, Steve? You know?
Yeah, I mean that's what I did with SNK Paranormal, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, I get so much traffic and so many people asking for their loved ones or celebrities or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, I need to make a video because I feel strongly that really need to go back to my journey paranormal. There's a reason why I started this, and need to get back to it.
Yeah.
And so I made a video saying, "Hey guys, look, I'm taking a break. I don't know how long. You know, I might post the odd session here and there. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And but it comes down to I want to grow, and maybe this is a good topic to talk about. I've talked about it many times, and I'll be open here about it.
Yeah, go for it.
A lot of the sessions on SNK Paranormal, especially the celebrity sessions, get a lot of attention. Everybody gets, whoever does celebrity gets a lot of attention, right? So you're going to draw traffic that way.
Yeah.
And at first, I loved it. It was so cool. And then after a while, I was, you know, I've always done my personal stuff, but when I started growing more, I started noticing that between the traffic and the numbers, I'm like, they're watching more of the celebrity stuff than they are paying attention to what I'm actually doing. I got far and few people.
Yep.
And so I'm like, no, I just, you know, I don't want to do the celebrities as much now. I just, you know, maybe here and there. But for my personal connection, I really just need to focus on that and just really start making it as good or better than the celebrity stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, I totally agree with you, man. I mean, I've never personally like got into the whole celebrity thing, but I think it's for me, it's because not that I don't believe that it's possible, because I believe that we're all connected to one God, one source, no matter what we call it or what our beliefs are. But I do believe we can connect with them and those souls, or with any soul technically, if our connection is good enough. But I just saw so many people doing it now that I'm like, and then from talking with you and seeing how people like only really started caring about that and not really understanding like what you actually have to offer with the connection you have, and the you know, like all that you are in this field. You know, there's so much like conversations that you've had with the other side that are just so much more than just the celebrities. Not that the celebrity ones are not amazing, but you know, it's just stuff that you do other than the celebrities, man. Like I told you, people need to see that too. And for them to only do the, you know, see that, I mean, they need to see all of it, because it's significant in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean that's probably a really good point. I mean, lately I've just been kind of working behind the camera, right? Sometimes you have to, and I mean it's all about helping other people. And I
Exactly.
mean, you know, the time came when, you know, I always bugged you, well, I'm gonna make you a portal, and you're like, no, 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 you're not. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And you know, and then all of a sudden you lose your PSP 7. Well,
Yeah.
I have a brand spanking new one, you know, and
Yeah.
it's got the connection and stuff on it. And, you know, I sent that to you, and,
Yeah. I
you
couldn't be more,
know,
honestly. I begged this kid to give him money to pay for at least the shipping, the box. I mean, I think I even like begged you to pay for the little tissue inside, or the little ball things that protect it, and you wouldn't let me, because you're
right.
such a good friend, man. And I can't. Me and Derek both can't thank you enough. I was so heartbroken when I lost my PSP 7 because I wasn't in a position to buy a new one at the moment. And you know, I mean, like I said, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, truly, it's like, you know, you truly show what this field, you know, should be about. And, you know, I followed your lead in this field because I agree and I believe in what you show people and the love that you show people and the love in all the division, well, all the division in this world now. I believe it's so important more than anything now to show the love of not just the afterlife, but the love that we should show each other. So I totally agree, man. And I can't thank you enough for that. So,
I
but,
think as well, AJ, though, with the what we're talking about, there's so many what I call subcategories in the paranormal now. You know, where people can focus on. That's why we've started Igor up to bring these in, because obviously, you know, Steve O's got a great connection uh, through the communication part of it. Uh, I I do the video part, and I like to concentrate a lot on the photographs as well, which has paid dividends really.
yeah,
And you obviously you've got a great connection. And John as well has a great connection as well. But there's so many subcategories in it
yeah,
where we could all actually concentrate on something different and still not cover it all.
yeah,
Yeah. And I mean, that's when we first started. I mean, that's what we did a lot of the time was our research and getting to know things. I mean, a friend of mine owned a house, and this house was built in 1880.
wow,
And all the original spirits that built that house, the people that built that house, their spirit was pretty much engraved in that house.
mm-hmm.
You know, and it was wild. I mean, he came over a week and we did a live using Spiritus. And the spirits were talking about deed, murder, property, giving away names of people. And we really thought nothing of it. And he went home and like we heard some of it come through, but really didn't grasp what they were saying. And he went home and he analyzed the live because 4 days later, um, there was a double homicide a mile from his house. And when he listened back to that session, the spirits predicted it through Spiritus. So he's like, you guys got to come do an investigation because the energy at my house is just wild. So we did. And Kelly was taking pictures and there was nothing outside. And I mean, there was like not even spirit or even demon. I mean, these things were interdimensional beings. And it was crazy, you know? And I mean, just there's no reflection of it outside and there's no reflection of it inside. I mean, so what's there to compare to?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I live in a town that's all farmland, and the street that I live on is where George Washington took back in like 1776 or something during a wartime. And we have all whole old historic homes on this street that are from 1770s and 1740s. I mean, you see the historic names right on them, and they're public homes where people live in and stuff. And I've always been so intrigued to go in there and ask him because that wood that's inside and around that house, that I mean, all the energy that's been soaked up and the families that have lived there, the generations. I mean, I could just imagine like the spirits that are in, you know, some of these houses that I live by. I mean, I seen some of it at the old cemeteries or the old Puritans. Just some of the way that they made the graves over here in the burial grounds. It's just beautiful. And so I completely imagine with those houses from the 1880s, that would be an awesome thing. But I tell you what, though, I personally like how, like we kind of like, I feel like we're a little different than a lot of people, even though there's a lot that do the spirit communication now on YouTube. But you've got me into like not just focusing on being like every other paranormal team that goes to famous locations and you know, does everything. I really got involved from meeting you, from learning certain things, and learning more about frequency, vibration, and energy. And I love the communication aspect, because when you get a response that you know could not come out either whether it's from a radio that could not be said, whether it's like swear words that you know are not going to ever be on a radio or whatever. It just proves undeniably that something, whether you want to call it spirits or energy, whatever, whoever wants to call it, whatever. I mean, I call it spirits, you call it spirits, or angels and all that. But, you know, you just know that something's manipulating this, you know, and something is talking back to you in real time. And that connection, when you can't see it, yes, it's creepy, but it's the most awesome feeling, in my opinion. I mean, how do you feel about it? From the beginning to now, I mean, personally.
You know, it's an evolving thing. I mean, when we were first doing it, the communication was crazy because we were excited, the spirits were excited, you know, they knew we were giving them a voice, right? And then after a while, you know, you kind of take a break from it and it kind of dimmers down, and, you know, the guides and the angels, they take breaks too, you know. They don't want to communicate 24 hours a day. And I mean, there's people that'll, oh, I talk to my guide every day, you know, through this app or that app. But then they don't ever talk about the days that they don't get communication. I mean, there's times I'll sit and do a 20-minute session. I'll go through it and I get one response or no responses at all. It's just, you know, they just have their days and they tell you.
No, yeah, you're right. I totally agree with that.
And we actually have a picture from the street house. Yep. That Kelly took on her camera. So if you want to share that, you can.
Here, let me put you on the layout. Hold on, solo layout real quick. Can you maybe okay, so I see that little mark. Oh no, you swiped away. Can you zoom in a little bit? That is for me, Kelly? Just because is there a way for you to zoom in on that part for me?
That's the before.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now look very carefully.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's something there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that bottom, the thing too, what I would have said as a skeptic, I would have been like, oh, that bottom white thing on the glass part, that's just a reflection on the top. But no, if you look, that's actually something completely different that wasn't there before. And that's wild. That, you know, and I see it stinks because like, you know, there's so many people that'll, you know, say like, oh, you know, like that's just fake or orbs, for example, right? They constantly are always just dust and all that type of stuff. But which I agree, most, you know, 90% of the time, most likely they are. But, you know, when you get ones that are like have intelligent movement and certain things, when you know that there's not a single dust thing, you're like on the camera or around or anything, and you're getting intelligent movement and it's going in you and stuff, like the crazy ones that we see. You know, I just don't understand how people can't be like, well, okay, maybe I don't believe in a spiritual thing, but that's got to be something. And I believe it's a way for us to see energy in a certain way, you know?
I have something else to show you. Again, this is before.
Yeah.
You gotta look up closer to the top here.
Okay, hold on. Let me make it solo. Hold on.
Whoop.
Sorry, go back. Yeah.
Okay, that's the before.
Yeah.
Now look closely.
Wait, was this the before?
Nope, that's the before.
Oh no, I think that was the after actually.
Whoop.
Look at the camera for a sec. Is that the after one?
Nope, before.
Oh, that's the before?
That's the before.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Phone's acting up. Okay, try again. Come on. After. Do you see it?
It's in the top right there.
Right there.
Oh, right in there. Yeah, it stinks because StreamYard, I can't make it any bigger than that. But we'll have to share that picture if you wouldn't mind on our thing because we would see it so much better. That's awesome, though. I mean, I totally.
There you go. Got a close up.
Oh wow, look at that! Holy crap! You see that, Robin?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's actually creepy looking.
It is.
Oh my god! Go back to the before, if you don't mind. Oh wow, that is super creepy. That is super creepy. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's weird. That's weird. That's like, I tell you what, that head kind of reminds me of like a vampire movie almost. With the weird ear and everything. That kind of looked weird to me. Oh my gosh. Look at that.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like a skull with long hair.
Yes.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh my gosh. That's a cool picture though, you know? And
the thing is, there's so many people there that are willing to knock us down.
No, absolutely. I mean, and I totally get it. I mean, I believe in, obviously being a skeptic because we are researchers. We can't just say, oh, everything's a spirit, obviously. But, the things are, though, is that, you can't be cynical about being a skeptic. Like, you have to still have an open mind and say, you know what, whether you call it a spirit or, me, I call it energy or whatever we want to call it. No matter what, it's like we are energy down to the cellular level, and we know that scientifically, and we know that energy does not die or gets destroyed. So where does that energy go? And I believe that, that's our answer. And I believe that science, there's a way for us to look at science and see that we can use it to do this field, but it's just science doesn't want to recognize this as anything but pseudoscience. And it's unfortunate, it really is, right, Kelly? It's really unfortunate. It sucks,
It is.
But I guess until you have your own experience, to all the skeptics, it's kind of hard, So I get it, because I was a die skeptic, die hard before I started.
The thing is, AJ, as well, is there's so many people out there, like I was saying a minute ago, ready to knock you down. I mean, obviously it proves that with that photograph that I took, that guy was saying to me, oh no, I'll pick that apart. He was so eager to knock me down for it. And it was like,
Yep.
Then they'll come back to you and say, I'm sorry, I can't. It's like,
yeah, Kelly, you haven't got to see Robin's picture. We did put it on the Talking with the Source page, but he took this picture in this abandoned location, and the first picture, which is like literally seconds before the second one, you see two white mists that are manifesting, and then the next picture you see a full-bodied apparition that's completely black, like a shadow. And this guy was so determined that it was fake, it was someone in the picture. He tried to tear the picture apart, like using like all different software and tools. And he comes back to Robin and he's like, dude, I'm sorry, but that's definitely real. He goes, I can't take this apart. And it was the funniest thing ever, because there was nobody in front of him at the time. And it was a great picture. It really is. But, I mean, like we say, if you don't have an open mind, it's kind of hard to accept certain things that are unexplainable,
You have to have an open mind.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, people still don't believe in aliens yet. The Pentagon came out and showed us, unidentified objects that they don't even know what's going on. So it's like, hey, they may not be aliens, but still a UFO is an unidentified flying object. And people are like, oh no, sorry, I'm against that. But, so, I mean, you're going to get that throughout, which is a tough part of our field, I think. But, I think really hurting us right now is you get a lot of people, these kids on YouTube, that don't know really anything about paranormal, but then act like they do, and then they go and they fake evidence, and then that hurts everybody who really tries to do this field, So
I agree. I totally agree.
But
I mean, the thing about what you were saying, I'll just touch on quickly about UFOs. I mean, personally, I believe in them because I have seen things that I can't explain what they are. And, moving at speeds that you wouldn't even believe and stuff like that. But, anybody that says to me about UFOs, the best thing I say to them is, okay, you don't believe in them, right? Okay, Area 51, what's that for?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just aliens, but yeah, I mean,
it's not. But if there's nothing there, shows that there's nothing there.
Yeah, and not only that, though. I mean, about Area 51, you see literally Bob Lazar, who supposedly worked there, and then when he came out in the 90s, everyone called him a fraud, didn't believe it. He talked about this machine that measures the bones in your hands and everything. And then years later, even the element that they found, element 115, was actually now named on our element chart. You know what I mean? And then not only that scan machine recently on a podcast, they were able to find that machine that was used in a different country has now been outsourced to the public. And he was telling the exact truth. So if he's telling the truth and he was telling about something in the 90s that, has now just been released 30 years later, I'm starting to believe all of his stuff that he encountered there, So, I mean, but then again, like I said, we're never really going to know until one lands on our front lawn and has some tacos with us. So,
But the thing as well is, and it's getting off the subject a little bit, but I'll just quickly say it, is like movies, right? You watch a movie and you see things like, for instance, teleporters, right?
Yeah.
But people say, "Oh, teleporters aren't real." Right. Well, then where are they getting the ideas for this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm going the skeptical way on that. You could, there's people have creative imaginations, creative minds, but it seems like a lot of the things that people have came up with movies are sometimes stem into real life with stuff that people create down the road, or theory wise or whatever. But one thing that I was told the other day was I said, I don't believe in a lot of conspiracy theories, and the person who I was talking to said to me, with all due respect, yes, a lot of them probably aren't real, but do you think every single one of them isn't real? And he had a good point. It's like, what if some of these people with these conspiracy theories on different subjects, what if they're real? What if they end up being real? I mean, no government's ever going to release any of the stuff that we think conspiracy theory wise or paranormal wise or anything along those lines, because it would cause panic, that according to them, massively throughout our whole thing, and people would probably go nuts. But I mean, I say have an open mind and take what you like and leave the rest.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's a wild thing. I mean, but I'm just happy that we get the communication we do, because to be able to talk to someone who is not here anymore definitely brings some comfort, 100%.
Well,
Especially
it's knowing that they're not actually. People
gone.
always say, "Oh, well, that's it. They're gone now." But it's like, well,
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know what? People are like, oh, they just want to make themselves feel better. But it's like, no, man. I mean, when I communicated with my father, and he's been with me every single time. I mean, at Christmas, we had a prime rib dinner. Okay. That was our main course. It was my grandmother's favorite thing. Nobody knew this. I didn't even go to dinner. I do a spirit box session, and all of a sudden I go, Dad, if you and Grandma were really with us with them during Christmas over at my cousin's house, what was the main course that we had? The only thing that came through the PSB 7 seconds later, prime rib. And I was like, what? Like, I have that video up and I couldn't believe it. I was totally shocked. And I'm like, man, I was like, it doesn't get any clearer than that. Like, nobody knows that, because I don't talk to anybody around here. I have like maybe a couple of friends that I talk to, but I didn't tell them what we're eating, but to get that spirit box thing, I was like, what? I mean, it was wild. It was totally wild. And it just makes me happy that, someday I may get to see them again, and that makes me real happy. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
But so Steve, I wasn't gonna go over an hour, because Derek and me were gonna do a session, but I was gonna ask, do you want to just do like a couple minutes of something real quick before the hour gets here, or would you like to wait for another day so we could do like a more full one?
I can ask a question if you guys want.
Yeah, go ahead. What are you using so we could tell everybody real quick? We'll do like a couple. Oh, DR60. Oh my God, famous DR60. Okay, so how about you ask like 3 questions and then we'll call it, and then we'll do a different one another day.
Sure.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you.
All right. What do we want to know?
How about anyone who's viewing right now? Do you have any questions that you would like Steve-O to ask to the afterlife? Anybody who wants to ask a question could put it in the comments right now.
Yeah, we've got 3 viewers, so we're bound to have a question.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to have a question if somebody wants to ask a question. I'm going to give it like a minute, 2 minutes to ask the question. And just like a general question of the afterlife, if you guys can come up with one.
Sure. Always, especially using recorders, try and keep the questions short.
Yep.
And don't run it any more than about 10-15 seconds. Because anything after that point will be long and dragged. And
Okay.
when you listen back to your sessions, always slow your replies down, especially when they come through too fast.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
we've got 4 viewers now, so we're bound to have someone ask a question.
Yeah, if any of the 4 viewers, Steve, the new viewer that just came in, we're about to ask a question, a generalized question to the afterlife. He has his Panasonic DR60. He's going to ask like 3 questions. we just want to ask you to see if we can get a response real quick. If you guys want to put any in the any questions in the comments, feel free to do it. We will ask it right now. Just keep it short, like Steve-O said. There's questions so that it doesn't gives the spirits more time to answer and stuff like that. But Steve-O, start it off and you start with the first question, and then we'll see if anyone comments. If not, we'll just do our own.
Okay. Here's a really good question.
Okay.
To my appointed guides or angels, whoever would like to answer this, how do you feel about the war between Russia and Ukraine right now? Can you give me a definitive answer? My appointed guide or angels, whoever would like to answer this, how do you feel about the war between Russia and Ukraine right now? Can you give me a definitive answer? Not sure what that said.
Can you play that again and hold it more up to the mic? That was something. I want to hear that.
Yeah. To my appointed guide or angels, whoever would like to answer this, how do you feel about the war between Russia and Ukraine right now? Can you give me a definitive answer?
Did I just say it's not great? Can't really understand it. I'm gonna actually have to.
I thought it said it's not great on Ukraine.
Wait, say it again. Play it again one more time for me, Steve.
If you listen to
or angels, whoever would like to answer this, how do you feel about the war between Russia and Ukraine right now? Can you give me a definitive answer?
Oh, I'm gonna have to definitely review that because that
it's
was
not great and something, but
It's not great right now.
that's what it said. Yeah, you guys can hear it better on your end. It's not great right now. Wow, that's actually wild.
we've had another comment there, so maybe that person wants to ask a question.
Yeah. Hey, Sophia. This is Sophia Thompson. Hey, everybody. She says, Sophia. So we have a Panasonic DR60, which is an EVP recorder from the '90s. It's very popular. I don't know if you know it. It's seen it on a lot of shows. But Steve-O's asking questions, generalized questions to the afterlife. If you would like to ask a generalized question, to angels, guides, anything like that, just keep it short if you could, so that we could use the recorder. But type it in the comments, and we will ask the question for you. One question I wanted you to ask, if you could, is how many spirits do you have around you right now?
The last time I asked this question, I was on a phone call with my friend Brett.
Yeah.
And he told me 3,400.
Oh my gosh. Party at your house.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
And we didn't get invited, Robin. That's it. I'm not friends no more with him.
It'll be over by the time I get there.
It was a long time ago, I swear. I like to joke around with my guides too, and I know we shouldn't do this, but I joked around with my one guide, Andrew. He's very popular if you see my videos, and I ended up he was being a smart ass with his comebacks when he was joking around with us.
Yeah.
So I recorded it and I asked him, I'm like, okay, Mr. Smartass, and then something about a question, right? So I listened back to this recording. As soon as I said, okay, Mr. Smartass, you could hear him literally laughing on recorder. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah. I wish I could pull that video up right now because that video is hilarious. He literally did go ha, ha, ha. It was great. Clear as day, too.
Yeah, it was amazing. Okay, Spirit guides, can you tell me how many of you are here? Can you just give me a number? guys, can you tell me how many of you are here? Can you just give me a number? That was a huge number.
Wow. Yeah. Can you do that again for
Sorry,
me?
that's my spirit team.
Oh, I'll play that again.
Yeah. Please play that again.
Hey guys, can you tell me how many of you are here? Can you just give me a number? 3,700. 3,711.
3,700. Yeah. I said something. Oh my gosh. Like, well, I guess they just told you again, huh? That's wild. I can't wait to review this. I can't wait to hear that.
Well, we got 4 great energies here, so I mean.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, okay, let me I want to ask a question real quick. Let me know when you're going to record and I'll ask.
Go ahead.
Drina, my main guy Drina, if you could please go where Steve-O is now and stay on that recorder that he has, can you please say, if you're with him, can you please say your name, Drina?
Trina, my main guy, Trina. If you could please go where Steve-O is now and stay on that recorder that he has. And please say, if you're with him, can you please say your name, Trina? That was a long response.
Oh, wow, that was actually a long response. Can you actually play that again, though? Because it's really hard to hear it on my end. I know that StreamYards is not the best audio recording thing.
Just trying to see where my microphone is. Trina, my main guy, Trina. If you could please go where Steve-O is now and stay on that recorder that he has. And please say, if you're with him, can you please say your name, Trina? That's something definitely to review.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't hear that one as good. But Sophia said that she heard the last one. Yeah, I have to. I'm gonna definitely download the audio to this after and put it in the editor to enhance it to see if I could hear it better. Because for some reason the audio that comes out live on my end and probably other people's ends is not as great as when you actually download the recording from StreamYard, which is really weird in my opinion. But I like it, so it's cool. So, Robin, you want to ask one last question?
Yeah, actually, I've got one we can ask here. It's quite relevant at the minute.
Wait, let him record first before you ask it. Remember, not too long either.
Yeah.
All right, recording.
Our Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, is very unwell at the minute. There's a lot of conflicting stories coming out. Is there more to it than meets the eye?
Our Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, is very unwell and there's a lot of conflicting stories coming out. Is there more to it than meets the eye? I'll play that one more. I'll play it one more time.
I said it's not good, but like I said, I can't really understand it. Sophia said that she heard, yes, I can. My name is Drina before. Like I said, I'm going to review the audio for sure. But, thank you, Sophia, for listening. I hope it's better on your end than on mine right at the moment. So thank you for paying attention. I really appreciate you a lot.
I heard on that one that I asked, I heard yes, but then I couldn't make out what it was saying afterwards.
Yeah. It's like I said, Streamer is not the best place to record audio. I mean, even when I use the external microphone with you, Robin, I mean, we still have a hard time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right, though. I mean, it's not like we're right there with Steve-O. If we were, we would hear it as good as they're hearing it and everything. And plus that recorder, it's an older recorder. So,
Well, you
it
can
doesn't have-
enhance it anyway and find out, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, definitely. But hey, man, it's hour and 11 minutes. Thank you, Steve, for coming on. Steve-O is our host also on Talking with the Source. So is my partner, Derek. But they have been working a lot because of the winter. Sophia, thank you again. She says no problem to us in the comments. We appreciate you guys for watching. We will be live on the podcast next Saturday. Double show, one at 2 to 3 p.m. with Paranormal Brew, Taryn from Paranormal Brew, as well as from 4 to 5 with Paraflix's Beyond the Veil Investigations. Super excited to have them on. Check out S&K Paranormal, and also check out Steve-O's personal one, which is Steve-O My Journey Paranormal channel, as well as Kelly, our fierce female researcher at Rainbow Light Paranormal. Both amazing people, and definitely check them out. And just want to thank you, man, for coming on tonight after working so hard today. And both of you.
Thank you, Steve-O and Kelly.
My pleasure. Is there anything you want to say before we go? No, nothing you want to add?
All right, my guys. Well, I love you guys, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will talk to you later.
Take care, guys.
Talking with the Source.
See you there. Bye.
Bye, Jerry.